For BamaCentral.com, I'm Joey Blackwell here with Katie Windham, and this is Just a Minute. Alabama gymnastics season came to a close over the weekend, and with it was Ashley Johnston's first season as head coach of the Crimson Tide. At the end of it all, Alabama finished with a 7-5 record during the season, even though wins and losses don't matter as much as gymnastics is more about what your final score is. And on top of that, they finished second in the SEC championships, which is exactly where they placed last year. They did finish their season a weekend earlier than last year, though. Last year, of course, Alabama finishing in the NCAA championships. This year, it coming to a close, finishing fourth of four teams in their regional finals in Norman, Oklahoma. Katie, you're the gymnastics guru around here for BamaCentral, so I'll hand it over to you. What is your assessment of Ashley Johnston's first year as head coach of the Crimson Tide?
Yeah, it's really kind of a hard year to assess because there was a lot of ups and downs. They didn't start with the highest scores and they kind of went through a period of time where they were scoring consistently over 197. They hit that 198 about midway through the season in the Metroplex Challenge, which is huge to be hitting a score like that early in the season. Then kind of dipped a little bit towards the end of the regular season, had a really rough meet at Missouri. The senior night at home wasn't a great score, but then had a really strong showing at SECs, like you said, finishing second. And then this past weekend at regionals, really in the second round, as they call it, because there's kind of a play-in the night before, but in their first meet at regionals, they finished in the top two to advance, but it was definitely not their best meet. Had a lot of mistakes, a lot of not clean landings, and then Saturday in the regional finals, it was going to be, they were in the regional final with number 1 Oklahoma, number 9 Kentucky, and number 16 Ohio State. I think Ohio State was 16th, and the top two would move on. It was almost a given that Oklahoma was going to be the top team. I mean, they're the number 1 team in the country. They've won 5 of the last 10 national championships. I think they're a really good team and a really good program. So it was going to be hard to beat them. So you needed to finish ahead of Kentucky and Ohio State. And Alabama wasn't awful. They weren't even it's not even that they were bad. I mean, they got a 197.65, but they really left a lot of points out on the mat starting off on vault, and then it was just hard for them to ever catch up because the other teams were performing so well. And so yeah, the season ended a weekend early, which I think really, if you look back at the Dana Duckworth tenure, I think the whole reason why she and Alabama kind of parted ways was because Alabama was not having success in the postseason. She never could, kind of get them over that hump once the format switched in 2019 from 6 teams to 4. Alabama's still never been to a finals. And it's not like Ashley Johnston came into a dumpster fire. She inherited a pretty good program. She had a really strong senior class with Louisa Blanco, Makari Doggett, Ella Burgess, and Maddie Walgora, plus Shalyn Olson that came back for another year. And so they did a lot of good things this year. I think we did see some improvement in some areas. I think we saw more fan engagement that we'd seen in the last couple of years in the Duckworth era, but I think it also is disappointing that you do get that 8 seed and then are not able to advance to nationals, which is the 8 teams. So really seed wise, you should technically be advancing based on how it's set up. But as we also saw with basketball, seeding doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I'm kind of going on and on about it at this point. And I think I'll have a story coming out probably this week, kind of wrapping some of the things up from this season. But I think we definitely saw some good things. I think she is the right coach for this program right now. I think the gymnasts really like her. I think they're bought into her and what she's building. But I think maybe they just ran out of a little bit of steam at the end of the season. And unfortunately, that's not the time you want to be doing that.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to that season recap written by you, Katie. Thank you so much for joining us. For BamaCentral.com, I'm Joey Blackwell here with Katie Windham. This has been Just a Minute. Thank you so much for watching.